Okay, so hello everyone. The topic for group discussion today is caste-based reservations are the impediments in building a casteless society. So the caste system has been in India since around 1500 BC when the Aryans came to India, and the caste system has been basically divided into four categories: starting with the Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. So this caste system was in India for the upliftment of basically the lower section of the society, which was Shudras. But I think that it is not possible for everyone to. It's like not necessary to bring this bring this community to the upper part. The reason being that it has been there since ages, but still there has been no upliftment. And I personally feel that giving reservations based on the category is not right, as people from the general categories also, like from the Brahmins and Kshatriya also, they also need reservations, because reservations should not be caste based, but it should be based on the neediness or the kind of problems that the people are facing. So I think it should be irrespective of the caste, and it should be based totally upon the neediness of the community and to the people.
I'm not
So,
a
what I think is the basic premise of this is the very beginning of the misunderstanding that happened on the notion of the caste. So, the caste, which when it was originally established uh, in the era uh, where this system was initially imposed. So in that era, a particular tasks, a particular caste was this symbol and was the symbol that a person is in a particular occupation. So Brahmins used to teach, Kshatris used to fight. So that was the very notion of the caste. So when after independence, all our leaders, so-called leaders, thought that it needs to be a system where the caste, so-called caste, uh, are suppressed. So the very notion that they had is completely wrong. So I think that needs to change. That needs to change, and I think in today's world, more than caste, income based reservation system is more practical in terms of upliftment of those who are suppressed. And uh, uh, and I hope that in very future, in very near future, some or the other government will come into force, which will have that guts not to pick up the not to have a very positive outlook towards the vote bank, rather actually work for the upliftment of the society as a whole. Like Richa very rightly said, in this era.
I
I
agree
Adding
with
on,
So I
Aditya.
agree
I
with
would
Aditya,
say
and I was
that,
trying to
no.
and I
add
would say
on
that
his
the
point.
word caste itself,
Yeah, please go ahead. Naman,
and
please go ahead.
And I would say that caste itself restricts the opportunity and abilities of a society. I would agree with Aditya completely that when caste reservation system came into action, it was for a period of only 10 to 15 years, which got extended for political agendas to get votes, to have votes, and it became a political agenda as a whole, which is still a political agenda. So like times change, I feel that in this dynamic world, this system needs to be reconstructed. Then it requires reconstruction, and rather than being a caste reservation system, it should be a reservation system for those below the poverty line, on the basis of their financial on the basis of their financials, their necessity, their ability. There should be a reservation system, but for those who are needy, and not on the basis of caste, especially when we talk about the education sector. The benefits should be availed by those on the basis of merit. Those who have the ability should get those benefits, and not on the basis of caste. Not at all. I am against
so,
the reservations that are on the basis of caste system.
Going with the notion that the caste-based society, the caste reservation hinders towards the casteless society, as we all know that why the caste reservation was made. Basically, the caste reservation was only made because of the social discrimination which was seen in the past. So the as we can see that caste reservation was only based on the social discrimination rather than on the poor or the backward society, backward or the poor people, or having people having poor incomes. So the basis of this caste reservation is the backwardness or the societal discrimination. So it cannot eradicate the casteless society. That's my point.
Okay, so
Uh,
I have a different
okay, so
point of
now moving on
opinion.
with everyone's point.
No, I have a different opinion. That point of view. Provision of reservation is to bring the ailment society into mainstreams. As nowadays, if we talk, the real motive of reservation is to make India as one society. Uh, it is necessary. Why reservation is necessary? Why there is a requirement for the reservation? As backwardness are the two types: economical also and social also. Scheduled castes were not given reservation on the basis of poor, but the social discriminations. So, as they are struggling for the equality and exercising civil rights, so I think it's necessary. But uh, the reservation, but considering the modern time, this reservation, uh, the reserve, this reservation has to be according to the economical rather than the other caste base.
So I think I have a solution for this. Listening on the various points of different people. So the point that I make is that why even have a reservation system? I like yes said that it is particularly necessary. So I think in the areas where there is a lot of rural population and there is a lot of literacy, so we must make a mechanism in which it is basically into divided into regions. So if you're living in a rural area where the administration actually thinks that the reservation is required, in those regions only the reservation should be implemented. Like I am currently sitting in Delhi, I do not see any discrimination right here. In I basically go to a rural area for my work, and I don't see that any discrimination it exists here in metro cities. But on the other hand, where I live, live in a very small town. So I think there is some degree of discrimination that exists there. So reservation should only be in those particular areas, not everywhere. It should not be a universal
I
thing.
I need to
See,
add
yeah,
Aditya,
one
I
I
would
line.
like to
also
correct.
If you,
Like,
yeah.
see, it should not be based upon the areas, but it should be
It is
to
not
individual
practical, Aditya,
specific.
actually.
Yeah, it should be
You
individual
can,
specific,
yeah,
I
not
you
to
can see the
areas.
reservations in the
It should
government
be
offices
total.
while you are in the metro cities also.
Yeah.
You can get the you can get the reservation even in the promotions in the government sector. So this acts as a what we call that clutches, or the in Hindi we call that Baisakhi. So it acts like that in the society, the
So
reservation.
I think we are all about aware about the problem. Let us discuss more about the solutions that we can offer. So
I
maybe
Yeah, yeah, that's the one solution, that caste the to make the society casteless, we should remove the caste reservations, because the caste reservation promotes I think the casteism society.
I think
okay, I think
We have
Adarsh
Okay,
might
let's
as
also
hear
have a
from the
point here.
people who have not
as
spoken.
we,
Yeah,
we
I
have
Durgesh.
think
seen this
as
discrimination.
yes
But
Yeah,
Naman,
Durgesh, please speak.
caste
as
reservations were
I think
sort
as
of discrimination in the society, and that social discrimination exists till date. So if we remove the caste reservations, we are only giving the rich more power to dominate every field like they already do.
caste
The
reservation was
caste
never made
reservation
on
ensured
the
that a balance.
ca- caste reservation was never made on the richness and the poorness. It was
I
already
also agree
meant
with
for,
Naman points.
yeah.
Yeah, caste system is not made on
But
the
it
basis
was
of a but
ensured to.
discrimination. I think
Listen,
in the
Durgesh,
past
Durgesh.
areas, the backward, the Bhimrao Ambedkar was made drafting a constitution for upliftment of the backward classes or the who are in a backward classes for upliftment. But in nowadays, governments and many politicians are using this as a vote bank because as in UP we see that Mayawati also take a BSP party that we will for a backward classes, that is SC or ST classes. But in a reality, but in a nowadays in modernization, we think there is a no caste based system is there because we see that there is a intercaste marriage is happening. And we think that if there is a caste based discrimination, how we can discriminate by the caste? If the person is brahmans or a kshetri, we cannot discriminate by their. If the person is give uh, if the person is have a birth, then we decide by their names as this belong to this caste. I think the caste system reservation is not a right purpose to resolve the upliftment of backward classes. I think there is a reservation for who are social economically uh, not strong, not very strong. There should be a very right structure for a reservation who are very needy person. There should be a good hierarchy for a management who take care of this reservation. Then there should be a caste-based society, I think, because nowadays government are using and many politicians are using this as a vote bank. And I think in a current scenario or in a future scenario, government will also use as a vote bank. Uh, I there This is the point. I think caste system cannot make a free caste-less society.
This
I
policy is
agree.
raised for the.
Agree.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Okay, Manish, you can continue.
okay, okay,
Adding to Durgesh,
okay.
that caste-based reservation promotes caste system basically. Now, let me give you a real life example. Two of my friends who had the similar economic background, social background, used to live in the safe society, used to go to the same school, used to eat and play together. They gave entrance exam for a university. So one of my friend got 79% and he did not got admitted in that university and only admitted in that same university. So what the society did? This society used to discriminate between the two friends based on what? Caste. So now it's my question to everyone. Where in a society where everyone is being discriminated on the basis of caste and admissions, education, your occupation, profession, in everything there is caste is something which comes in between. And admissions are not given on the basis of one's ability or occupation. Is it possible that with a casteless society will prevail?
Yeah, it was happening with others also, I think. We see that many of us get a 90% or 80%, but we can't get a chance in a government job or in a very good institution. So I think there is if a person has the ability to do this, then he can get a chance.
Many of us didn't get a chance to clear cat also. Many of us have got 90 percentile, I think so, like Kulsum or Durgesh, I think so, I don't know, but many of us got that 90% percentile and above, but we didn't get a chance just because we are we are in general caste. That's my point. And there should be no discrimination on the caste. And I think
Yeah, I think people
Okay,
who
he
haven't
got
spoken
logged
yet,
out.
yeah.
Let Manish speak.
To add
We ha-
something.
we have yeah we have seen this discrimination since childhood. This thing must not happen. Reservations should be given to those who need it, and those who are poor, who don't have resources, not on the basis of caste. This policy is initiated for the betterment of backward classes, but on the other hand, it defeats meritocracy, that is the convenience of options to the most capable and deserving candidates. Reservation policy was initiated for the improvement of lower caste people, and so it is positive discrimination. It has been effective to a great extent, but with time, this policy has been misused by the politicians. uh, among 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 the lower caste people. This policy was initiated in a way that lower caste people are treated in society so that they can avail equal opportunities like upper class people. So it was adopted as a positive action, but now the scenario has been changed, and amendments are not in this policy for the betterment of society as a whole. That's all from
Okay.
my side.
I think Kulsum and Arushi must have something to add. Kulsum.
I've already stated my opinion on this.
Okay. Arushi, do you have anything to speak?
I would say that we cannot completely fight this system that has been going on from thousands of years, but definitely we can restructure the policies. We can restructure the entire system by removing the word caste from this system and just making it a reservation system on the basis of financials of an individual, on the basis of necessity of an individual.
Okay, so based on particular discussion, I think we are on the same side on one fact that basically the system, it's required up to an extent, but the way the political parties are using it for their advantage is not good. And second conclusion that I want to make is that the issue is not completely legal. It is not at all a legal issue. It is rather a social issue. So there must be an approach to find social solutions to this particular issue. So that's my submission on it.
Yeah, I
I think
completely
we
agree
are on
with
the closure.
Aditya. This system was made to for the upliftment of the people of that particular community, but since time it has lost its essence. Like people are discriminating them on the basis of this reservation system only. Like it is kind of creating a feeling of hatred among people. So I think this should be eradicated so that we can build this casteless society where the reservation should be given on the basis of necessity and not on the basis of caste.
Okay, I think we are on a consensus.